the holiday edition of Baseball Books and Banter. With me, your host, Nicole, as always. Also, still not sponsored by Diet Coke, but that's cool. I'm still going to drink it. You'll notice during the interview with Olivia, I'm drinking Dunkin' Donuts, but then I have switched to Diet Coke. So that's what happens when you, have to get caffeine for the day. Jumping right in, I'm very excited about today's episode. It is with the return of Olivia Blacke, who, for those that have followed me on this journey of me wanting to just yap with people, she was my first partner in Yap for the Baseball Books and Banter, even before we decided to put it on YouTube. So I was excited we got to do this today, especially because her new series, as I fangirl out on her, is super awesome, and I highly recommend it. You know that old sketch from Saturday Night Live where Chris Farley was like interviewing people and he's just like, do you remember that time that you did that? That was pretty awesome. And that's kind of how I sound when I talk to my friends whose writing I really enjoy. And she is one of those people. So I hope you enjoy the final episode of no, oh, whoa, wait. The final episode of 2025 Baseball Books and Banter. I'm coming back. I've got interviews scheduled in January. So, and a couple of baseball guys, a couple of a writer couple from Met at Crime Bake, and I'm going to try to get a whole bunch more because I love, as evidenced by my fangirling out, I love just chatting with people about books. But before we get into the episode, as always, we have to talk about the things I'm obsessed with. It is the holiday season. I'm recording this on December 20th. I'm obsessed with the fact that my brother and his girlfriend are bringing up their dog, Miss Georgia, for the holiday. And I cannot wait because we need a dog in this family. And since I own all the cats, I'm really excited to meet Miss Gigi. She is definitely going to be spoiled from between me and my aunt. I think I've bought a million toys for her and they're probably going to be annoyed, but I don't care because she deserves all the good in the world. She's a golden, and from pictures, she's adorable. So I'm excited to meet Miss Gigi, Miss Georgia. Another thing that happened today is when I went to Dunkin' Donuts, the drive-through was too long. So I was like, I'm just going to go in. And my Dunkin' Donuts here on 18 and 139 is usually busy, but it's good people. I feel like I'm not a regular, but like they know me, sort of. So I'm going in, and this little old lady and this younger gentleman were holding the doors for each other. And on the way in, she goes, "Oh, I used to deliver your mail to this guy." And it turned out that she had delivered the mail to his family for like years and years. And so much so that when they made like an Elf on the Shelf thing, they named it Susie, and that was her name. And I was like, just like, oh my God, that's so the kids associate Susie with the elf and Christmas. She's retired. She's a retired mail carrier. But I was like, oh my God, I love my mail carrier, Tina. And she goes, oh, she's going to retire. And I'm like, oh my God, why are all my people that I love retiring? And I'm jealous. So it was like the most Christmassy, cutest meet cute thing that happened. So shout out to Susie and the guy at Dunkin' Donuts whose family loves her. And also shout out to Dunkin' Donuts for giving me a superb, that's the other thing I'm obsessed with. I've always been obsessed with iced tea lemonades, but I've been lately obsessed with coffee rolls from Dunkin' Donuts. I love cinnamon. So just anytime I can get that, 2 thumbs up. The final thing I'm obsessed with, the past 3 weeks, I've been doing Legos because I was like, I need more hobbies. Let's see, not just writing, not just reading all the books, not just becoming the president of Sisters in Crime New England. I need something else to occupy my time, mainly when it's like wintry and cold and there's nowhere to go. So I started with the little typewriter, and also with some flowers from Walmart. So now I have a little vase of Lego flowers, and I've since bought a rotary telephone Lego that I'm going to do. And I put a lot on my Amazon wish list because, like, why the hell not? Right. So that's kind of, it's funny. I was talking to a friend yesterday about a project, and he mentioned that like we're all in our 40s, but now reverting to childhood hobbies kind of to keep us sane because, as you know, the world is like losing it. So yeah, so just do what makes you happy and don't let anybody like yuck your yum. You know, if you find something fun and somebody's like, ew, that's stupid, don't listen to them. That's not their business. Maybe it's stupid for them, but for you, it's great. So Legos, doing my little crafty crafts, reading, stickers, like, come on, it's fun. Get over it, people. So that's my moral of the story. And the thing I'll end on this year is don't let people yuck your yum. Like what you like and don't let them bother you. But on that note, let me get into the interview with Olivia because she's great and I'm fangirl and I can't wait to see her again. I can't believe it took us 2.5 years to get her back on the podcast, but now I'm going to try to get her every time her new book comes out. So I hope you enjoy. Welcome back to the podcast. Returning guest. First,
I was your first guest.
I was just going to say first guest ever, BFF, Olivia Blacke, hockey friend, book friend, just
hockey
friend extraordinary with the cutest puggle that I've ever seen in my life, little Bailey cakes.
If she's snoring, you can hear her probably.
No, I can't. I love a snoring dog. And yes, you are a Capitals fan, but we won't hold that against you in this Boston household. I know they play at 12:30 today, so I know we got a deadline.
If we do.
But that, and also I don't pay for Zoom, so it's 40 minutes. But Olivia Blacke, welcome back. Rhymed.
So I had to wear my hockey scarf for just a minute to, rub the caps, but it's like 1,000 degrees in here and I'm 100%. Wearing my holiday sweater.
Yay, because this is our holiday episode. My very special holiday episode.
And before anybody complains about the holiday sweater, you notice there are snowflakes around the skulls. So
mine's a cat in glasses. So like,
so cute.
We're all different. Cats. And also 100%, it's 1,000 degrees in my house is set at 68, but I am sweating like you wouldn't believe. For a little TMI for all the listeners, in the menopause, perimenopause world, I'm just hot. So this sweater will be coming off after this meeting and I'll be back in a t-shirt for the rest of the day. Let's put it that way. TMI.
It doesn't matter how cold my house gets. Nope. This room it's got like a gazillion windows and it's a perfect room for me because it's got my books.
Yeah.
But it's 1,000 degrees in here. So every time I do like a Zoom and I'm in front of my shelves, I'm like, just sweat pouring down my face.
Yeah, I get that way too. Cause my front room here is like, there's only one vent, but it also has all the windows. So the sun's just coming in. And no matter what, it's just warm. And it's not bad. Like yesterday, I lost power for 7 hours. And it wasn't bad because like this room was okay. But yeah, right now, I did make the mistake of starting to clean my refrigerator this morning. Hi, my name is Nicole. I have ADD sometimes. So I started cleaning my fridge and then I got sweaty again. So anyway, this is a book podcast, guys, not a perimenopause podcast, but
it is. But I will tell you, the first time I did a podcast in this room. So I've got these bay windows in front of me that face the street. It's very pretty and it gives great light and I love it. And the podcast started at like 7:00. So about halfway through the podcast, it's completely dark outside. I've got every light in the house on the inside. And I've got people like walking their dogs and stopping outside the bay windows going, what's going on?
Yeah. Because you're like talking, it's like spotlights. Yeah. Oh my God. They're like, is that a murder scene in there? Like, is she like investigating a crime?
And it's like, I mean, you know me, I can't focus anyway. So how do you focus when people are like staring at you now?
And that's why I can't write at my house because the cats are always doing something and I'm distracted and I have to go somewhere else which is funny because you would think like at a coffee shop, I'd be more distracted, but for some reason I'm not. I don't know. It's weird, right?
They're not trying to get your attention.
Moral of the story is writers are weird, guys. We got a lot of quirks. We got a lot of idiosyncrasies, but for those that haven't listened to the February 2023 podcast with good buddy Olivia Blacke, who at that time, I think you were just promoting the Vinyl Shop Mysteries, not the Cordelia.
I think so.
So you have had a new series start with A New Lease in Death, On Death, the wrong preposition. And the most recent Death at the Door.
Yes.
I will tell you, big fan, obviously, which is why I want you to keep coming on because I'm like,
I will tell you too. I don't know if you can see because my ghosty. I'm also a big fan.
Oh, stop it. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. Stop,
Okay.
stop. Stop. You
It's
have a big
Sam.
old bookmark too, so that's going to be exciting to get. Well, hopefully at Malice next year, I will have new books, new covers of the books because I'm with my new publisher. So we'll see. No promises. No
You're
promises.
gonna have to tell me all about that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast discussion. But so I think I met you during a Malice. I don't, it must have been just at Malice, or was it before Malice? It was the,
We met before that. We
yeah,
actually did a podcast together.
yes,
It was absolute mayhem. There was like
mayhem.
3,000 people on this podcast,
Yes.
and they're all talking, and you and I are like rolling our eyes and like doing sign language to each other, like
What are
what's
we
going
doing
on here?
Yeah.
And like we bonded over this like
Oh,
mayhem.
and then we got to meet IRL at Malice Domestic,
Yes.
which people that have listened to the podcast know is one of the best mystery writing cozy conferences. And it's kind of branched out a little from cozy, I think, too, because there are so many subgenres of cozy now. Like now,
Yes.
like with the two that you just wrote, it's very paranormal,
Yes.
quirky, funny,
and not quite cozy. I have to tell you this. And part of it is I may have kind of an adult vocabulary on occasion, and you cannot have an adult vocabulary when writing
not
cozies.
allowed. Yeah.
I really, really, really wanted to use the F word. So it's like, hey, let's call it a paranormal. And then it's not a cozy, and I can just a little bit.
And I think that rule has started to be pushed a little bit in cozy, because I know I don't swear in mine, but that's just, I don't know. I was on a call yesterday with somebody and I'm like dropping F-bombs like you wouldn't believe. And I'm like, what's going on today? The holiday season is in me. Like I'm swearing. But I think it's also a lot of the genre is starting to change with the paranormals, with the different protagonists, with the queer characters, with just there's so much that's being pushed now. But but at its core, it's a cozy.
Yes.
You know, like it's a girl and her friend, and they're investigating shenanigans.
And it is a feel good. Like, I mean,
100%.
there's like death and there's suicide and there's drug use and, but other than that, and murder.
Yeah.
But other than that, it does kind of feel good.
Oh yeah. Cause I forget, and this is just a me problem, that Ruby's the alive one, right?
Yes. Ruby is the alive one.
I also forget that. Because I like the name Cordelia, and then I'm like, no, Cordelia's dead. Spoiler alert, guys. Cordelia's
dead. So that's one of the rules in cozies is that you can't kill your main character.
Right.
Like you just can't. You can't even kill like your core group of characters. So the first rule I broke is that my main character, one of my two main characters, is dead before the book even starts.
And I like that she's a little bit older. She's dead, but like age-wise. And Ruby, I keep forgetting, is young. Like,
oh, she's so young. Ruby is the perfect cozy main character.
She is.
She's young, she's
naive.
Sweet, she's naive, she's very helpful, she's very friendly.
Trusting.
And Cordelia thinks she's just kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't like that.
Yeah. I just love, she's so trusting, and Cordelia is always like, girl, he could be a murderer. Like, what are we doing here? And I love and I really enjoyed in the second book finding out more of their communication and how that works, because that's always a thing you think about when you're reading a ghost story. Like, how do they communicate? And it's really funny. So people read the book, because the way they communicate at the start is really funny, and then how they continue and to change their communication is even funnier.
So one thing I can tell you that's not a spoiler is the old magnet poetry that they had in like the 80s and the 90s. Cordelia had some on her refrigerator when she died, and then Ruby moves in, and they use that magnetic poetry to communicate. And I've had some people that are like, I have no idea what magnetic poetry is. So it's like they're little words, and you never have the words you really want to use. So it kind of makes a challenge. Like she can't find the word N-O-T. So she uses the word K-N-O-T a lot. So it's like not, but not. She has to spell it wrong. And I will tell you, I don't know if y'all listening know who Misty Simon is, but I absolutely love her. I probably have her whole collection behind me. She writes mysteries. She wrote a ghost mystery. She also used magnets, but she was smart about it.
The
She used
letters.
those ABC magnets like
Smart.
from little kids. She can spell out an entire word. I'm like, man.
But also, like, that takes a long time. Like, at least with the magnetic poetry, at least there's some full words that you don't have to spell, like if you're spelling, I don't know, a long word like preposterous. That's a long word to have to wait for a ghost to spell, I would think. Would a
Yes, it
ghost
is.
use that word? Maybe not. Maybe that's just me.
And Cordelia, she kind of has my vocabulary. So
Okay.
at one point she gets really frustrated and she takes a magnet that says Christmas. She breaks it in half and slaps it up there and it just says Christ.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay. Sometimes you
How
just
we do
gotta
it.
get it out.
In the holiday spirit, yes, of
In
course.
the holiday spirit.
Of course. And so I really enjoy, I also love in the second book, I will tell you, I was the first one to take it out of my library because of course I was. I was like, girl,
Thank you.
I don't know if I
Support your
ordered it from
libraries.
them, but I was like, sign me up for it when it comes out. You really, I don't know how to say that. Like the first book is very much the standard setting up the premise.
Yes.
The second book, I'm like biting my nails waiting for the third one because not only do you learn more about their communication, you start to learn more about Cordelia herself, which, in the beginning, in the first book, it's all about Ruby and Cordelia's relationship and how that's starting to work. Then you start to learn a little bit more about Ruby in the second book with how she's interacting with her neighbor and her coworkers and all that. But we didn't learn a lot about Cordelia until the second book. And now I need to know. I need to know. I'm going to like turn off the record and be like, tell me everything. Because I think it really, I think people don't realize that even in series, you kind of have to like amp up the stakes every time. And there is an overarching story because we don't know what happened to her. I mean, we know she's dead. We know they found her in a bathtub. But what happened to lead to that point? And
yeah.
Are you going to tell us about that in the third book?
The third book does explain everything.
Okay.
I will tell you straight up. I don't believe in being cruel.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm kind of cruel to my characters on occasion. But whenever I write a book, you're going to get a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Mm.
And then you're going to get like a little bit of powder sugar, like the donut cart goes past, and you're like, huh, what's in there?
Yeah.
So I always want to throw a little, sweet treat at the end.
Yeah.
That might just whet your appetite without actually giving you answers.
Sure.
But there is a 3-book arc
Okay.
that tells you everything.
And is there more after that 3-book arc, or is it?
I don't know.
Like so far.
That's a mystery. I am not yet at the point where we start that conversation.
Gotcha.
That conversation's probably going to come early next year.
Okay.
So
if you're Olivia's publisher listening, know that
yes.
I like that story and I want more.
I want more too.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
I mean, I feel like because there's so many great characters that even if it's a spinoff for some of these other characters, like it's like, or even a prequel, like, oh my God, like, and I don't know how to say it without in the second book, there's a character that Cordelia interacts with. And I'm kind of intrigued by their story too, because it's like old and in the pawn shop, and it's like, what? Okay, but anyway, sorry.
I would love to do that, and it's so funny. I think you're referring to Harp. Harp is a character that people either love or they hate. I am totally team Harp. I think he's wonderful.
Yeah, I've actually had people. He's not a great person, but like
he's not a great person. But I've had people come up to me like, I don't like Harp. I don't want to deal with Harp. Why is Harp on the page? And I'm like, yeah, well, he just doubled his scenes.
I know. Right, are you kidding me? That's another thing about writers, guys, is we're petty. So if you tell us you hate something, it'll probably work its way back around. We're very petty. If we hate you at work, you're going to be in our books. Maybe
don't say that, because if people
maybe the name will change. The names could change. I will say I did not change the name of the person in my first book who I hated. And she showed up at an event and I was like, deer in the headlights. I was like, oh God. It was 5 years later. So I'm like, hopefully she doesn't know that's her. Her cousin knew it was her though. He's like, I know who that person is. I was like, shut your mouth. It was a different last name.
It's kind of hard to see yourself like
a bad person.
It's the whole idea you only ever see yourself in a mirror. And so you might not necessarily notice that you've been written into somebody's books, but all your friends and coworkers like, oh, that's Liv.
Well,
I know that.
it's like when you're at work and you get the company-wide email like, oh, the dress code has been violated, and you're like, you're wearing a business suit and you're like, did I violate the dress code? You're like, no, like it's not to me, but you feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, every character is like you in the
Yeah.
book a little bit. Speaking of, you said Cordelia has your language.
Yes.
Any other little self inserts with Cordelia or Ruby that are fun?
So Cordelia, she's from Ruby's point of view, she's a little bit older. And she talks about how old Cordelia is and
Yeah.
how sometimes they like things in her house smell like old lady because Cordelia used to live there. Cordelia's 43.
Same.
So and she's a big girl and she's got red
Same.
hair and she's in her 40s.
Nope.
And other than that, and she curses like a sailor. So other than that, no self-insert at all.
Self-insert. No. I feel you. Yeah, I'm now at the point where I'm like looking at my character Madeline. I'm like, she should be older. I started writing it when I was in my 30s, and now I'm like, oh no, I have so much more stories now that I'm older. So there might be a soap opera rapid aging situation happening.
Ooh.
No, I don't know. I don't
Actually,
know if they would love
that's
that.
not a bad thing. Like when
Like
you're
a
writing
time
a
jump.
series, like the events of A New Lease on Death and Death at the Door take place within like 2 months of each other.
Yeah.
The events of Death at the Door and the third book that I can't really tell you the name
Sure.
yet,
That's fine.
is maybe like 6 weeks.
Okay.
And when you think about it, you know, and they come out a year apart, but it's like, can you even imagine not finding one dead body, but finding like 3 or 4 over the course of like 6 months?
Yeah.
It's horrible what we do to these people.
And I think about that I'm writing book 4 right now, and I'm like, this is all one season, like all one baseball season, and she's found, well, the third one she went out of town, and that'll be later, but there's still dead bodies and things happening, and I'm like, that's and maybe that's, I grew up on, the Murder She Wrote and all the cozies of the past that you stop to think of, you suspend the disbelief.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're like, if this was a normal, somebody would say, what the hell is going on?
Well, another writer I'm a huge fan of is Mia P. Manasala.
Oh yeah,
she did Arsenic and Adobo. She's done. I probably have half of her collection behind me as well.
Her most recent one just came out, didn't it?
Yes.
Fairly recently. Let me
hold on. Let's see. Like I said, I have a huge collection behind me.
And Dingwan. I don't know. I'm not really good with the pronunciations.
I don't know, but I absolutely love her
mystery.
books.
Yeah, again, speaking of funny and pushing the envelope of cozy a little bit. Yeah.
Very funny. Lots of queer characters, a lot of non-white characters, a lot of food. Oh my goodness. One of the things I love is after the events of the first book, her main character goes to therapy.
Yeah.
She's like, man, this is messed up, and I'm messed up because of it. And she kind of get pushed into therapy. Yeah. She didn't want to go originally. But I love the idea of like, you just found a dead body. You need to talk to somebody. And in most cozies, it's like, oh, I just found a dead body. I'm going to have some extra hot cocoa tonight.
Right.
And it's like,
oh, that's not real life.
That is not a hot cocoa real moment.
Life. I mean, not that I have any experience in that, but yeah, I think there would be a little something more that you would, and again, being of this generation of cozy writers, that's different from what we've read, all the past cozies. And I think that's great because yeah, somebody's going to look at that and go, oh, I go to therapy because of trauma. That makes sense to me.
Yes.
And I love that. It'd be funny to do not funny, but like a therapist cozy mystery, but I guess maybe that's not something I can write.
and that would be heavy. That would be so heavy.
There's a lot of trauma in there. Yeah. And you don't want to make light
trauma in there, but not that much trauma.
Right. Happy trauma. That's not.
Oh yeah.
That's a writer's thing we do. The record shop mysteries, is that done complete? Are you still like hoping for more?
It was originally a 3-book arc. We got the 3-book arc out there. The total story kind of got told.
Yeah.
Part of the Record Shop series is there is a like will she won't she for several characters. And so we actually we wrap up the love triangle, we wrap up the housing situation, we wrap up the job situation. Like it all kind of gets tied neatly with a bow. I love these characters and I would love to revisit them. But again, we're going through like this multiple trauma. Like, what am I going to do? Like, have Junie like accused of murder every 6 weeks
I mean,
by like her friends and family?
know,
Yeah.
right? Oh my God. Maybe short stories where it's just like a theft. Somebody's accused of stealing.
I did write a short story for that series. It's set in Halloween, and a certain song plays on one of the records, and it like releases Ghost into the record shop. And then she has to solve the why there are ghosts there in order to like release them and make them happy. And
did it get published?
It's like up on my website.
Okay. I'm like, you should put that in somewhere because that sounds really good.
It's just a fun little short. I read it for free, put it up on the website. I think it was part of like Gemma Halliday did a giveaway for Halloween one year. And I was like, I'll throw something in there.
Yeah, I love a lot of good authors with Gemma Halliday.
She's an amazing author and she's an amazing publisher.
I got so when I was moving publishers, I got the book re-edited and through Readsy, and one of the Readsy people I got was from Gemma Halliday. She does them for them. So I was like, that's exactly the vibe I need. The cozy comfort thing. And she was great. Jen was her name. I can't remember her last Jen A. I don't remember her last name, but if you're on Readsy, she does cozy mysteries and she's great and affordable, which I love. And she also, we had Zoom calls because she's like, let's just talk through some stuff. And I was like, yes, because I have a problem with time when I write, in that I do a lot of the same days in a row and you can't do that because that's not how life works. Even though it sometimes feels like every day is Groundhog Day, but it's not.
So I will give you a tip. And I've started doing this whenever I write my chapter titles. So first off, on Death at the Door and A New Lease on Death, the chapters change point of view between Ruby and Cordelia. And I've got to show you this. This is not like, so the art, when Ruby, it's her chapter, it's nice and dark and bold. And whenever it's a Cordelia chapter, let me see if I can find one real quick. It's all washed out.
I didn't notice that.
That's the first time I saw that, I cried. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Who came up with that idea?
The art director.
Wow. And that makes, oh my God, chills. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, right?
That's a genius idea. And that's why they get paid the art director bucks.
Yes.
We get paid the writing bucks. They get paid for the visuals. Makes sense.
Which is something I cannot do. But whenever I'm writing the chapter, I put the name of the person whose point of view it is at the top of the chapter and like the chapter number just to, because that's going to change. I'm going to reorganize. 100%. And then I put like Monday morning.
I love that.
And the chapter title.
Oh, I love that.
So then inevitably, whenever I have to reorganize,
you can just change.
First off, I use Word and I drag and drop chapters all the time. But then I'm like, it's Monday, it's Sunday, it's Tuesday, it's July, and it really helps me keep track.
Yeah.
Because whenever you're writing something, you're like, okay, oh, she pops in at work, whatever. And then later when you change your timeline, all of a sudden it's Saturday afternoon.
And why is she popping in?
So having these little hints really helps me keep my timeline.
You are not a plotter.
I am totally a plotter. I'm a plotter. I write out sometimes like 20-page outlines. I use notes and I put it all down. And then I'm like, okay, none of this works. And I have to rip it apart and put it back together again.
But it's good that you have that starting point, right?
Yes.
So that you kind of know the vibe going into it. Because I'm not. And I feel like, oh, that sounds like you know the vibe going into it. And I think that's probably why you have that definitive 3-book arc and how everything's laid out, because you've thought of it from book 1. of how it's
And part of it also has to do with just the business side of things. Like if you're with an indie publisher, if you are self-published, if you are, doing all of the work yourself, basically, you can do whatever you want in whatever order you want. If you sell a book to a publisher, you do the book exactly like they want.
Right. They're going to tell you all that. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to tell them this is the whole 3-book arc.
Right.
And then they decide whether or not they're going to buy it or not.
Right.
And then whether or not you kind of stick to that arc. Nobody's called me yet on it. But
because honestly, I mean, even just through the first 2 books, it's a tight story. Like there's no dangling. The things that dangle are the cliffhangers. The things that, I mean, it's not Gone Girl where at the end you're like, son of a gun, why did she do that to me? Like, you're like, oh, I can't wait because I know she's going to pull this together because she pulled it together from the first book. You know what I mean?
And honestly, that to me, that's the rule of a mystery.
Yeah.
Anybody should have the ability to solve the mystery with the clues that you give them, but then you make them think that they're crazy.
Right.
You make them think, that's not a clue.
You gaslight them, basically.
Bury it where you can. You give them all these like bright, shiny things over here, and you're like, look over here, look over here. But anybody has to be able to solve it.
Right.
And I have this one friend, Liz Ash. She can solve any of my, like, she gets them and she'll like text me on like page 20 and she's like, oh, it's so-and-so, isn't it? I'm like, shut up. She's like, oh, I'm right. I fooled her once.
Okay. That's good. It's always
but
good.
Yeah.
But no.
Usually she can tell by the very beginning. I'm like, that's really not fair.
She's like Sherlock Holmes. It's fine. Because
she's good.
I felt that way with, I don't know if you saw the new Knives Out movie.
My God, yes.
So good. I knew the person who ended up being revealed was I always thought that from the beginning. I just didn't know how. And sometimes when I'm reading a book, that's really what I'm finding. I'm like, oh, I know that person did it, but I need to figure out how they're going to do it. And so I feel like you're good at that. Is even if you guess the killer, the motivation is not 100% clear. So you're like, no, that's just a bad dude or whatever. But why are they a bad dude? Like, I think the killer in the second book was a surprise.
And I will tell you, there's like 2 scenes that got cut out of the book because my editor was like, it's too obvious who the killer is. And one of them I fought to keep in.
Yeah.
And that's the scene, like, if you go back, you're like, well, I should have known.
I know. I'm like parsing my pronouns to make sure I don't give it away. Because the person it ends up being, they are a sketchy person. Like, just the vibe is off when they're introduced. So you're like, oh, I'm going to keep my eye on that. But you still don't understand. You do a good job at misdirection. Let me put it that way.
Thank you.
So
thank you very much.
Yeah. So do we have a tentative date for book 3?
October 19th.
Girl, they did you right by releasing these in October.
Okay, so I love my publisher. I love my editor. They are so good to me. But the first book, it's Minotaur, by the way, and Maddie is my editor, and I absolutely love them. So my first book, they were like, oh, we're going to release this in like March. And I was like, please no. I want to be released in October. I want this to be a Halloween themed book. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we've got so many big books that are coming out in October. We don't want, there to be all this noise. Okay. And then one of the big books got pushed back because the author could not deliver their manuscript in time, because it happens.
It does.
It happens all the time. And so they were like, you still want that October slot? And I was like, yes. So I had my first book released on like October 29th.
Oh, perfect.
Which was like, that's really close to Halloween. So like everybody starts doing all these like October events. And I'm like, I swear I have a book. I just can't show it to you yet.
Yeah.
And then, so whatever is the Tuesday closest to like October 19th is when book 3 is coming out.
That's awesome. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited. Okay, I'm going to put that on my calendar. I probably have an alert for you set up anyway in my Amazon, so I know when
Thank you.
Stuff. I will say, for just to kind of close the loop on the Ruby Cordelia mysteries, it is set in Boston,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it. I was like, that's
And there are Bruins references all
there
over
are.
the place.
I did see that, and I said, okay. I will say I did go to Dunks this morning. We call it Dunks now. It used to be Dunkin', so next time, just know Dunks.
I know that now. Thank you.
um, it was really good. Oh, it's so good. Sorry, I get distracted by my Dunks. I have a coffee roll in the kitchen that I'm like, I can't wait to eat.
I think the only time I called it Dunkin' Donuts was like I couldn't figure out the punctuation because that little apostrophe at the end makes punctuation difficult.
Yeah. It's like,
so yeah, I finally went to like
weird.
Dunkin' Donuts on one sentence because I couldn't punctuate it otherwise, and I hated myself for it.
We just Dunks. It's like, yeah, let's not get crazy. So we are coming up to the end because, of course, I don't pay for Zoom, but I want to make sure I ask if you have any good book recommendations for people outside of our own books.
Okay, so hold on. So this comes out in January. It's called Murder Will Out. It is by Jennifer Breedlove. It is a ghost mystery. It is completely atmospheric. It is set on like a little island off the coast of Maine, which I mean, right there, you pretty much have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a woman that comes back and like you can see like the Victorian mansion, and there are ghosts everywhere. There is so much there's a lot of action for being like cozy adjacent. It's kind of like mine. It's the paranormal, almost cozy. But yeah, it's very fun. There's so many threads to pull, like multi-generational mysteries that all get like consolidated. And it turns like it starts out, it's like it's not even a mystery at first. It's like, oh, that this older lady died of natural causes, of course. And then like you're realizing like all these murders, and it's wonderful.
Who's the author again?
So this is Jennifer Breedlove. This is her first book, and it won the Minotaur First Crime Novel.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So I had the chance to meet her at BoucherCon. She's absolutely adorable.
Is she going to be at Malice?
I don't know. I need to find out.
Yeah, I hope so, because now that sounds right up my alley.
And it comes out in January. I should probably know the date, but I don't. But yeah,
stay tuned for it.
Really good.
Oh, that's good to know. Any others?
Another one that I've been reading, just finished, was Crime Inc. Iconic. It's a series of short stories. I try.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It is edited by John Copenhaver. It is a selection of short stories, all either queer authors or queer characters.
Awesome.
There's a bunch of people I already love in here. I know Manasala has a story in here. I could probably read this list and you'd be like, I know
them. I know them.
It's just an amazing collection, and every single story that I've read in here has been just spectacular. So it's like sometimes you get short stories and you're like, oh, okay, I liked one or two. This is like 20 stories, and I love 20 of them.
Yeah.
And also it's edited by John Copenhaver, and I am such a huge fan of his. I love him.
Speaking of, congratulations on being on a list with Stephen King.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Weird, but in the best possible way.
Yes.
That's awesome. So if you go to her website, you can see the articles like best 15 paranormal.
So Marie Claire magazine put out an article, best paranormal mysteries of all time. And it had Stephen King's The Shining, had Charlene Harris, the first of the Sookie Stackhouse, which Dead and Buried. It was Dead and something. And Olivia Blacke, Newly Sent Up. So, but also it had Allie Hazelwood Bride. Okay. It had Twilight, if you like Twilight.
I mean, I've never read it.
It had some really amazing books on there. And you. So, yeah.
Which is well deserved. Because like I said, it's a great series. And I can't wait to read the third one because it is different, but it's different but familiar at the same time. And it's also a tight, funny story. And you forget that Cordelia is dead. half the time. And you're like,
Good.
oh, she's like a real person. I mean, she is a real person, but she's just a dead real person. But you forget, and you also forget that I also enjoy that nobody in the book is perfect.
Yes.
They all have trauma of some sort. They all have, stuff they're trying to work through, but it never overpower. I mean, there's one character it kind of overpowers, but it doesn't overpower the story. It's not a story about
Okay, I have
trauma.
to know, what character do you think that the trauma overpowers?
Well, I will say not overpowers, but the brother.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Is
because we'll know more in book 3, I'm assuming, but
he's either a jerk with a heart of gold or he's just a jerk.
right. And that's what I can't
tell.
figure out, because part of me thinks he's a jerk with a heart of gold. And then towards the latter end of the book, I'm like, no, maybe he's just an ass. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
maybe he's just an addict and just kind of living, through that. But so I'm intrigued. Again, book 3 is going to answer my question. So I'm going to wait. I don't hate any of your characters, to be honest with you. Maybe
Ian
the
kind of
Flandering
feels
boss.
like somebody, like the world owes him something.
Yeah.
He's like, I kind of had a rough start of it. And so if anybody has more than me, they owe
Me.
that to me.
Right.
And that's a situation you see so much of. It's like, oh, this person has a bigger TV than I do. I deserve that.
Yeah.
And it kind of keeps us from going, yeah, but this guy has like $1 billion.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe we deserve that.
Yeah, that's what I deserve for sure.
Oh, totally.
So where can people find you in the next couple of weeks, months?
So actually in January, I believe it is January 10th, I will be in Richmond with John Copenhaver.
Nice.
Very, very excited about that. We're going to be at Book People. All the information is on my website. It's oliviablacke.com. That's BLACKE.
I'll put it below.
I spend a lot of time on Instagram. I do have a newsletter that I send out on occasion. I try not to spam people.
Same.
On occasion, I remember to update Facebook.
Yeah, same. Well, I'm on Facebook all the time. That's why I like Instagram, because it goes everywhere now. I just update Instagram and let it fall, the chips fall where they may, and call it a day.
That works.
Yeah, I love it easy, because you and I both don't have PAs. We are our own PAs, so we have to do our own stuff. Oh, this was so much fun. I'm so glad you got to join me today.
Well, I love talking with you. This is absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait to see you in person at Malice.
2, 3 more months, 4 more months. April.
Yeah.
I've already got my hotel.
About as soon as it starts getting a little bit warm, because every year it's like the week before Malice is snowing and the week of Malice is like 90 degrees.
And it could be cherry blossoms. Maybe not. That's always the question, is that, if the cherry blossoms are out, people are going to go visit, but I stay in the hotel. I just hunker. But go to Malice, people, if you want to see both of us IRL.
So one of the things I learned about Malice, I was talking to one of the people. I'm probably going to run out of time.
I was going to say, we might get cut off, but keep talking.
So one of the readers was like talking and was like, I can just walk up to any author here and talk to them. And we're like, yeah.
They want,
and it's like, and we can walk up to any author here. We can walk up to any reader here. And it's like, I have made so many connections with authors, with readers, with editors, with publishers. It's like, you're just sitting there having conversations all day.
And everybody's nice.
Yeah. The first time I went to Malice, I sat down, I had this great chair, and I was like, this is really cool. And then I realized Charlene Harris was sitting in front of me, and I went, okay.
Yeah. We're friends now. Oh God. Okay.
I don't know that we're friends. I am such a huge fangirl on here. Like, whenever I see her, I'm just like,
I'm the same way with Hank Phillipi Ryan. She's always like, good to see you. And I'm like, oh, we're best friends. Of course we are. I was like, she doesn't remember me, but I don't care, because I love her. She's so nice, and I will take it.
So sweet, and she's so talented.
So pretty, and so in her
goodness.
heels and her pencil skirts. And hello, isn't she the best? Even if she is a Capitals fan. Although I will be completely honest, when the Bruins aren't on or the Celtics aren't on, and the only game in town is a Celtics or a Wizards or a Capitals game, I will listen to both of them, because they're kind of like my secondary team, since I lived down there for 7 years. I guess anything to not have a Pennsylvania team, which is in high school. I was like, no, I don't want any of those teams. But, what are you going to do? So I do listen to other stuff, not just the Boston sports, even though that's what I prefer. Um, but I think she's amazing. Definitely check out the books. I wrote down that Murder Will Out because that sounds like something right up my alley. Anytime there's like a mysterious island, a gothic element, generational trauma and secrets, like I'm in. So definitely going to get in on that. We didn't even get to talk about her dog Bailey Cakes, other than that he was sleeping and snoring, but she's just the best. So shout out, Olivia. You're the best. And I'll see you at Malice. And if you see us at Malice, make sure you say hi to us, because writers are notoriously anxious, imposter syndrome having, nervous Nellies. And yes, we'll talk to a lot of people, but you can always talk to us, and we just find it awesome sauce, because that just makes us feel like people are reading our books, which is great. And I'm sorry, I'm itching my nose. It's that kind of day. But anyway, so that's kind of what's going on with Olivia, with what I'm obsessed with. Books that I'm currently reading. I'm finishing the Dan Brown book, which I can't remember what's it called, like something secrets. I should have probably brought it over with me here. Let's see, Dan Brown. Really, because I know my brother's not going to listen to this, I'm giving it to him for Christmas, so I wanted to read it first. It's called The Secret of Secrets. It's all right. It's a Dan Brown book. It's the Da Vinci Code, but Dan Brown. It's something to do with like your brain and consciousness. I don't know. It's a lot, but I'm almost done because I lost power for 7 hours yesterday. So I had a lot of time to read. So I'm trying to finish that up this week. I'm also reading, what else am I reading? I'm reading a bunch on my Kindle. There's the new C.L. Miller, The Antiques Hunter's Guide to whatever. It's set in Scotland. It's really good. I'm gonna do this live, guys. You're gonna see my process. The Antique Hunter's Guide to, so there's Death on the Red Sea, Guide to Murder, and then the third one is, oh God, I'm so bad at this, guys. You'd think I'd be more prepared, but no, of course not. I'm like just all over the place. Murder at the Castle, Antique Hunter's Murder at the Castle, which makes sense because it's set in Scotland, and I am already all in. Ooh, the cover's really pretty too. It's all plaid and stuff. That's cool. So check that out. That's a good series if you like a mystery with history, a mystery with history. And I read a bunch of Kindle books with historical mysteries again. And yeah, that's kind of what I got here. Another one I'm excited about is Witches of Dubious Origin. I love Jen McKinley. She writes a library cozy mystery, but she also writes a cupcake one and like a hat store in England. So I'm excited to check out this new one in her oeuvre of books. That sounds very fancy. In regards to my books, we're still on hold. I have like 3 or 4 book ones left, and I have a lot more of book 2. If you're looking to order, just reach out. If my publisher is still going through some stuff, so I am hopefully going to reissue them myself maybe in the next month. So if you want an ebook version, I think I'll have it formatted soon. But I'm also hoping early in the new year, I'll either get new covers or I'll get new issues, have my publisher reissue them. So stay tuned for Level Best version of those. But also, if you want to order either of book 1 or 2, just reach out to me and I will figure it out for you, because I want you to have it. Especially because you're doing it directly with the author, which I think is great, because I haven't gotten paid in 2 years for royalties from my other publisher. So, life. But other than that, book 3, like I said, is done. It's with the publisher. It's definitely scheduled for September. So stay tuned on all the internets for a cover reveal, all that good stuff. I'm excited about it. I enjoyed writing it. I'm 22,000 words into book 4. Things are starting to pick up, so that's exciting. No title for that one yet, but I'm hoping soon. I'm going to take Olivia's advice about doing the chapters with the days in it, because I have a problem with that. That's a problem for me. Other than that, no events coming up soon. for those that know and don't know, I talked about in the beginning a little bit. This coming year, I'm going to be president of Sisters in Crime New England. It is an organization for sisters and misters who want to learn more about writing, marketing, publishing, but also to have a community of writers for all 6 states in New England. And you don't even have to be in New England to be a member of us. There's a national worldwide organization, and then you join a chapter, and we welcome everybody. We're trying to get more programming with college students. So if you are a college aged student and you're interested in genre fiction, we would love to have you. Just shoot me an email. I'm also hoping to put together something for actual college courses to use or writing schools. My vice president is Glade Brown Kabongo, who is a thriller or suspense psychological suspense writer, and she's amazing at the marketing. So she's working on, we're going to revamp the website. We're going to try to get a new tagline going. We're not changing the fundamental shape of the Sisters in Crime. We're just trying to open it up a little bit more and make it so people know that there's classes, there's promotions, there's a speakers bureau, or you can come to your library or to your senior center or to your school. Anything. We will do anything. You want to do a mystery making at your wedding? 4 authors will come dressed up to the nines and do a mystery making. So I'm really excited about that. Our first program in January is with a good friend, Fern's original mother. Well, I guess original first adopted mother, Donna Ray Menard. So that'll be really good. If you're a member, it's free. We also let people come in if they're not members. They just nominal fee. And then of course the crime bake. So I'm excited. I'm freaked out because I'm like, president, that's like crazy. But we'll see what happens. So, it's been kind of a whirlwind of like 2025. I might do a recap at the end, maybe just in between this interview and the next, but just know I'm glad it's over and I'm ready for 2026. It can only get better, she says with a question mark. I guess we'll see. But until then, the Patriots are still winning. They lost last week, but they're still 11-2, playing Baltimore this weekend. Kind of excited. So here's hoping playoffs. And the Celtics and the Bruins are both kicking butt a little bit better now. So we'll see. I didn't talk about this in the beginning, but I'm okay if we don't sign Alex Bregman as a Red Sox fan. Like I think I've talked about it on other stuff podcasts. He's fine. He only played half a season for us. He wasn't the great hope of our year. He was a good leader in the clubhouse, I guess, but I'm not sad if he walks. I'll be sad if they don't fill his position with somebody who can hit and be a leader. But if he goes away and we get somebody else, that's fine. I'm not a Bregman girly. I don't care. Like, I like our young guys. I think we'll find somebody. They'll sign somebody soon and we'll be fine. That's my Red Sox recap for a minute. And hey, Red Sox, if you want to come do a book thing, reach out to me. I've got a lot of baseball book people that want to do book things. But as always, first of all, happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, happy Festivus. Do what you need to do. Again, don't yuck people's yums and do what makes you happy. And go Patriots.